Hello and welcome to an album a day, going through my vinyl collection, an album a day. Today we're going back to the well of Uriah Heep albums that I have as I wind down the last, we're down to less than a month to go of albums, and then we'll hit the 45s. But this one is a 1982 reissue of a 1981 album, Abominog. I mean, it's a face only a mother could love. Beautiful artwork, beautifully done, hair and everything. I've always loved this. I've always thought this was fantastic. This was the album that they were on when I first heard Uriah Heep, or at least I should say the first time I know I heard Uriah Heep. There's a very good chance I heard Easy Livin' or something on the radio at some point, but when MTV came out, they did, which song? That's the Way That It Is. And that was the first one that I associated with Uriah Heep. Of course, I would later go back and start getting their back catalog, get Demons and Wizards, find Easy Livin', The Wizard, all those kind of songs. But this was where I made the first connection. We had the 45 of Easy Livin'. It had Son of a Bitch on the back. Excuse me. And it was great. The 45 had the paper cover of the album. So we had that in the little 45 rack that we had. Great songs, both of them. And so this is a copy on Mercury. As you can see, the classic Mercury logo. Vinyl's in pretty good shape. The album cover, unfortunately, would be in phenomenal shape. It's still even in the original plastic, but somebody bought it on discount. And the record stores, what they would do is when they were putting albums on bargain, instead of putting a sticker on there that could be peeled off and put on another album rung up incorrectly, they would mark the albums in ways that could not possibly be misconstrued with albums that weren't on sale. So sometimes they would put just a little notch on the side, like you used to be able to do on like a floppy disk when you didn't want it to be overwritten, or they would just cut the whole damn corner off. Either way, devalues the album. Now, of course, these were sold on discount, so you're paying for less, but as a collector, not the most optimal. But I got a really good deal on this. Like I said, it's otherwise in excellent condition. Got a little bend in the corner here, and it's a little bit chewed up from that, but it's still in the original packaging, which is great. Let's see here, just a generic sleeve. But I have had the pleasure of interviewing two people on this album. Of course, Mick Box was the first person from Uriah Heep that I interviewed. He's the one that granted me the endorsement to do Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. Through that process, I had the pleasure of interviewing singer Peter Golby as well, who was with them for a couple of hours. Unfortunately, Lee Kerslake passed right at the time I was getting this rolling, so I did not get to interview him. But very grateful to have talked to Peter and to have struck up a friendship with Mick. Really nice guys, both of them. Let's get to the music. And again, with Uriah Heep, I don't want to go too deep into how I feel because I've done episodes on all of these songs. If you want to, you can go right to my website, www.scotthaskin.com, go to the podcast, pick out the Abominog season, and there's an individual player for every single song because I did an episode per song. You can also go to your favorite podcast player and find the songs directly there as well. But we open with Too Scared to Run. This was a track that before I got the Abominog album would be on a compilation album that I bought. I think it was like a double album with a cartoon, like a wizard guy with a lantern on it. On the Rebound was, I think, a single or the B-side of something. Chasing Shadows, not the same as the Deep Purple song. Then we get Prisoner and Sell Your Soul. That will wrap up side one. We flip over to side two, and we get That's the Way That It Is. That's the track that I found them through MTV. Think It Over was also on that compilation album. Hot Night in a Cold Town, great title. Took me a minute to get used to that, but I do like those kind of like As Above, So Below type titles. Then we get Hot Persuasion and Running All Night with the Lion, which is a cover of a Lion song. Anyway, it's a great collection of songs, one well worth checking out. I mean, if you're into hard rock or metal, you got to get it for the album cover alone. I mean, just to have that on your shelf, totally worth it. But the music is fantastic, definitely worth picking out. Interesting thing in talking to Peter Golby was that he after leaving Uriah Heep, I think he went to Trapeze after Heep, if I'm not mistaken, but he left the business because he didn't feel like he was making an impact. And that really made me sad because he's a great singer, very well loved. And I think, you know, as he and I talked about, if he was doing this now in the days of social media where we could connect with the artists, he wouldn't have left. He would have felt that connection to the fans, but he wasn't feeling that back in the day. But artists also were untouchable for the most part, unless you caught them on a show like Rockline, where you could call in and hopefully get through and ask the band a question, maybe give them a compliment or say thank you. You really didn't have much opportunity to connect with the bands. Now, some bands had fan clubs. I don't know if Uriah Heep ever did or not, but you know, or you know, and there were no websites. You couldn't email them. I mean, it was a whole different world back then. So I'm glad that Peter did resurface, that I got to connect with him and talk to him about his work with Heep and Trapeze and all this wonderful music, as he was re-releasing some hidden gems that he never put out. So go check that out on also on it's under Uriah Heep, the Magicians podcast, also on the Haskincast podcast. My interviews with Peter Golby and Mick Box and the rest of the members of Uriah Heep that I was able to secure. So that is our show for today, guys. Thank you very much for checking this out. Be back tomorrow with another album to close out the month of July. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.